Hi everybody, are you ready for a red word? Here's the sentence. Does a dog bark? The word that's underlined in red is does. Take a look at how we spell that. D-O-E-S. If we were to stretch it, the O-E vowel team would say O and we would say doze. And this word would say doze if you were talking about girl deer, because a doe is a girl deer, and if there's more than one, they are does. So you can actually pronounce this word does if you're talking about deer, but we're not. We're saying, does a dog bark? And in that case, the word is pronounced does. Listen, d-a-z. That's really red, isn't it? The D says what it's supposed to say. The O-E vowel team says like the letter U. And the S makes the Z sound, like so many other red words we've had. All right, the word does has to do, if you notice, the word do is hiding in the word does. So if we wanted to say this sentence with the word dogs, we would say, do dogs bark? Yes, dogs do bark. Yes, a dog does bark. So I do, you do, they do, we do, but he does, she does, it does. That's when we use the word does if we're talking about he, she, or it. It does matter if you say it the right way, like that. All right, are you ready to tap it? My left-handed friend, you put your right arm around, put your left hand on your right wrist and tap D at your wrist, O at your lower arm, E at your upper arm, S at your shoulder. All my right-handed friends, we're starting at our shoulder. We do D, O at the upper arm, E at the lower arm, S at the wrist. Are you ready? Here we go. Does. D-O-E-S, does. Again, D-O-E-S, does. One more time. D-O-E-S, does. Great job. Are you ready to write it? Okay, get out your red folder, your bumpy screen, your red crayon, and your red word paper. You can put the bumpy screen underneath the red word paper. Take your crayon and trace the word does. D-O-E-S, does. Now you can put your red crayon down and trace. D-O-E-S, does. Again, D-O-E-S, does. One more time. D-O-E-S, does. Now you can take out your bumpy screen and go ahead and write 3 times. D-O-E-S, does. Again, D-O-E-S, does. One more time. D-O-E-S, does. Then you can turn your paper over and see if you remember how to write it. D-O-E-S, does. Then turn it back. And with a pencil, see if you can write a sentence that has the word does in it. It does look like it's going to rain. She does the dishes. He does his chores. Go ahead and write a sentence using the word does, and then you can put your paper in your folder. You can put your red crayon away. You can put your bumpy screen away, and then make sure you put the word does on your word list 6. Have a wonderful day.